front row, all about Richard Childress Racing. Jesse Love, the control car, takes the inside lane. To his right, Austin Hill. 188 laps, 250 miles for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Put the green flag in the air. Here we go in Music City.
Really even start for the RCR teammates there. Can Austin Hill hang on the outside of Jesse Love here in 1 and 2?
Yeah, the inside usually tends to prevail here. Jesse's going to get clear off of 2 into the lead and set sail. You know, clean air, like we said, is super important, and just being able to manage the race from the front is so valuable in these cars. You can set your own pace and you know, keep out front and hopefully hold on to that clean air as long as possible.
And we just saw a good indication the outside line is not there. Austin Hill got really loose off of 4 right there, allowing Corey Day to get further along up beside him. Now he's just fighting to probably try and get to the bottom here if Corey Day's able to get by him.
Nice break for Corey Day, getting that inside lane when qualifying was rained out. Can he make it pay off? They continue side by side for the runner-up position.
Austin's being nice to him there, running up the track, giving him a ton of space. Like, these cars can be very sketchy when you get it on your door tight, and obviously Austin on lap 2 isn't willing to push the limits. Thankfully, there's a couple guys out there that might not be that nice, but you know, he knows that there's not much to gain here on lap 3.
He goes way up there into 1, which may work later. Look at the momentum off of 2. Now he goes to the inside.
Yeah, the old crossover. 17 thought he had him. Hill drives now underneath Corey Day. They're mixing it up back behind them as well. 1 is Carson Quapple, 18 William Sawalich on the move early.
And you saw him hit that bump down there, Connor, in 3 and 4. Just unsettles it so much. Look at the side draft chasing Corey Day up the track. Now tries to dive down into 1.
Yeah, that bump in 3 and 4 can be treacherous, but you know, these guys have been side by side for the entire race so far, and when you start moving up too early into the run, you can really affect, you know, what your tires are doing, and that can really play a role in the speed you have late in a run. So you see Corey Day getting clear there, getting to the bottom, settling in line there in second.
You look at the advantage for Jesse Love. First time he's led laps here at Nashville. 00 Sheldon Creed, Brandon Jones in the 20, Harrison Burton in the 24, all attacking the rookie LeVar Scott, going in the wrong direction in the 45.
Yeah, those guys had to start at the back, so they're already making gains, you know, going 3 wide early in this race to try and get themselves up front as quick as possible.
Plus 13 for Creed to start this race. Both he and his teammate Sam Mayer finished inside the top 5 a year ago. Saw Parker Retzlaff in that mix. He too has looked good early. He was going to start up inside the top 10. Had the engine problem, had to drop to the rear, but making the most of it. Plus 12 as we look at our Powerball power movers.
And just happy that that engine issue happened in practice with the limited running we got compared to what we thought we were going to have. But that practice after qualifying was canceled. So that's the type of thing where you're lucky you got on track and had that issue then, could get that motor changed and work through the field.
Look at Allgaier. I mean, just shooting up high, now cuts down low on his teammate Sammy Smith.
He's so good here.
He is, and he got the best of me last year, and it's just, you know, I love racing the O'Reilly Series with him. I'm able to learn so much racing around Justin, and just, you know, it's rare he makes mistakes. That's why he's, you know, always at the front, always, you know, up front in the points, and you know, it's super helpful for these young kids to be able to learn from him.
As we come back to the start-finish line, we go silent on lap 8, thinking of Kyle Busch. The advantage for Jesse Love out front here at Nashville, 1.3 seconds. We talk so much about the importance of clean air. He starts on the pole, taking advantage, and a couple of teammates trying to drive through the field here. 54 Taylor Gray, he needs a good run. Came in on the chase bubble. and so does his teammate. Brent Cruz, so talented, missed those 4 races, rough ride the last couple of weeks, and both able to drive around the 31 of Blaine Perkins.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch Brent this year. I grew up racing around him, and we've been really close friends since, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. So it's just really fun to watch him get to this level and excel. I knew it was going to happen, but his first win's coming soon, and looks like he's got a fast car tonight. So we'll see where he can get to.
He was my pick tonight.
I saw that. We had some first-time winner picks down there.
I've been amazed by him, man. I know you've he's so highly touted, and you've talked about how good he is, but he's just taken this so quickly, and it doesn't matter the type of track or if he's never been there, never even got practice. He just has speed, and I think tonight could be a really big night for him.
Yeah, most definitely. He's been a lot of fun to watch.
10 laps in, Jesse Love has led them all in that 2 car for Richard Childress Racing, and this move was key to get him ahead of the curve and take the top spot. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series from Nashville. You're watching live on CW. Closing on the midway point, stage 1 for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, live at Nashville Superspeedway. Tonight, it's the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 on CW. And closed captioning for tonight's race, brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. Looking at the one of Carson Kvapil. And you know all about this race team, Connor, because you've driven that car to victory lane a couple of times this year. But I just go to, he's been really good on the concrete. Second place finish at Bristol. Almost won in his second career start when he was a runner-up at Dover a couple of years ago. And now here at Nashville, good in practice. Does all of that kind of come together a little bit when you're thinking about where he's at?
Yeah, most definitely. And Carson's been so close to getting a win so many times, I feel like. And, you know, it's only a matter of time, right? Those JRM cars are so fast. And I feel like every week, even if the balance isn't great, you're still able to make speed out of it and, you know, always qualifying well. So, yeah, it's only a matter of time until him, Rodney, and the one team put it all together and get themselves a win. Carson's obviously been really good and so close so many times.
Oh, really close. Looked really good in practice. Was really fast on the long run. That one car was leading everyone on the long run. So when you have that sort of speed in practice, it gives you the confidence, gets to start up front. It's looking good.
Larson's starting to pick him up and put him down, right?
It's hard to count that guy out. Even when he didn't look great in practice, you know, I just feel like no matter what his car drives like, he's just fast. And that's just Kyle Larson. So obviously going to be a contender tonight as we get later into this race. And you can already see him moving up higher than anybody else has so far. And that's about right for Kyle Larson. And as he gets a run there and gets inside of Williams Sawalich.
He just finds a way.
Look at that. Look at the momentum that created using the top side. Easily clears him down the front stretch, gets the outside.
Look at Sawalich coming back.
But I think the momentum once again there on the outside will pay off for Larson here down the back stretch. He called that car terrible in practice. So obviously Marty put some tune on it.
Yeah. Well, we've seen that movie before, right? I mean, it's like, oh, the 88's not any good. He leads now that we're inside of 20 laps to go. What's the report there right now, Dylan?
Yeah, the good thing is there's a couple of good things. He hasn't lost track position. He's kind of neutralized or going forward, so that's one positive. The second positive is one of their biggest issues in practice was the lack of rear grip. Kyle said that was a huge problem. Felt like he couldn't get the rear of the car in the racetrack, but he came on the radio a few laps ago and said, this thing's got good rear grip now. So we told you when it started to get cool out, they felt like they were going to be better. I think that's starting to prove true already for the 88.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was very similar. You know, as the sun goes down, you gain grip, and your car starts turning, and you got to be prepared for that. So, yeah, I definitely feel like that 88 car has got some speed in it. Obviously, Jesse Love's still driving away from the field, but, you know, when we get that stage caution and re-rack everybody, I'll be curious to see how the 88 stacks up.
How quiet has this guy been tonight? I mean, gets the lead from the jump, drives away, we're not even talking about him.
Yeah, I feel like in that commercial break, he had like a second lead, and now he's got 4 seconds, and he can't even see second place. So,
well, what was interesting is Corey was matching his lap times and even looking a little faster as you were referencing, and now he's just vaulted away in a big way. He's consistently been the fastest car on the racetrack the last few laps.
In honor of Military Appreciation Month, GovX is proud to support those who serve our country and communities. If you have a military or first responder background, scan the QR code now for unbeatable deals on thousands of top brands. GovX, savings for those who serve. Just over 10 laps to go. Stage 1, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Nashville. We talked about it early. Qualifying rained out, so some really big-name drivers that had to come from deep in the field after they had issues last weekend at Charlotte. Watching a couple of them right here. Sam Mayer up to 13th. Taylor Gray inside the top 15. Tons of movement.
Yeah, Sam Mayer there has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack lap after lap. Up 17 positions, but I've seen when he gets clean air, he ticks off a lap that's easily in the top 5, sometimes the top 3. You see right ahead of him, Brent Cruz has been really fast, so these guys just ripping through the field here with really fast race cars after starting towards the back.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch just how fast these guys have been able to move through the race or the field. You know, obviously Nashville is a tough track to pass, so just the fact that these guys are getting through the field this quick shows how fast their race cars truly are.
And that last lap, Sam Mayer was the 3rd fastest car on the track. First time, he got by the 54 and got clean air, so and obviously has the speed.
Part of that, you know, coming from the back, you put an asterisk on how many cars you passed, right? Because when you start all the way in the back, you're passing cars that most would think you should be going by. I look at Allgaier. His starting position compromised, rolling 17th. He is passing elite talent. We saw it side by side, getting up at the 4th, going by Quapple and Larson. He's really good right now.
Yeah, he's been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack every lap since he's gotten this clean air, and he's closing in on 3rd place there with Austin Hill, and yeah, clicking off laps that are faster than Jesse lap after lap. So we'll be curious to see what he's able to do when, you know, we get a restart and he gets a chance to go after him.
Tell us more, Dylan.
It's been interesting watching him work through the field, because I spoke with Andrew Overstreet, the crew chief, earlier, and he said we talked all week about discipline and just wrapping the bottom, staying lower and longer, and he's done that pretty much the entire run in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 he's been a little bit more kind of unconventional. We saw a slider on Larson to get by during the break, and then he's kind of been in the middle to higher lanes at 3 and 4 the last few laps. So it's working for him in 1 and 2, but I think their car is good enough that he's able to move around and do whatever he needs to do to find clean air, and it's still sticking for him. So the 7, I think, is as good as advertised here in the early going.
And that car ahead of him right there, Austin Hill, you saw how high he was just running there in 1 and 2. And I think he was learning that from the car ahead of him, which was Corey Day. We know likes to go to the high side, did that at Dover. He was all the way out of the rubber down in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then I saw Austin Hill do the same. Let's see if he does it down here into 1. How high does he go up? Not quite as high. He was basically another lane up just a lap ago, trying to find just that extra little bit of speed. Do you think, is it possible we get up that high right now?
Yeah, I mean, at a concrete racetrack, you're always searching for the lightest color pavement, because that's the cleanest pavement. And you know, when you're the guy that's pushing the limit, you're also wearing your tire, your right front. You know, there's a cost that comes with it, but sometimes you are able to make a lot of speed up there. You saw it at Dover. Corey was, you know, higher than anybody on the racetrack, but he was also the fastest car on the racetrack. So yeah, you see Allgaier here getting through the 21 and getting up into 3rd place. He's going to clear off the 2.
Right there,
yeah.
And the exact opposite of what we're referencing. He just wraps the bottom,
yep.
And that's what he did so well here last year. It's what makes him, he's so precision with where he places that race car. And when he gets it working on the bottom and can wrap that yellow line, it's incredible to watch, Justin.
Yeah, he's one of the best at it, and he certainly did it last year to me. I actually, late in the race, the top lane did come in, but I had no idea, and I went back and started watching film after the race and saw Jesse was the fastest car on the racetrack, running up up near the edge of the rubber. So obviously Jesse coming up here to Cletus, looking to lap his teammate, put his teammate a lap down with only 7 to go on the stage.
Well, he's got a 5.7 second lead.
How nice is he going to be?
Little leeway here?
Yeah, if I was him, I would, but we'll see how nice he is.
Look at his eyes. We do the NASCAR YouTube onboard camera watching Cletus here. Yeah, he did a good job in practice earlier today, and I was in the garage area mid-morning. The O'Reilly garage hadn't even opened, and he was already out on pit road, checking out his pit stall and putting his thought process together. So limited experience, student of the game, very mature, and trying to hang on to the lead lap here. There'll be 5 to go in the stage when we come back this time.
What I think has been so interesting to watch with Cletus is you couldn't have picked maybe 2 harder tracks for your first adventure into the O'Reilly Series. Rockingham with its high-speed nature, and then this being concrete, bumpy, cars unsettled all the time. It's hard to feel. I thought he looked great in practice.
You beat him through that end right there. Work on your line down here. We can get it. We got to get past these guys in front of us. Don't let them hold us up on the lapper on the top.
That's funny. Mike Dillon, the spotter, Austin Dillon's dad. It's super cool to see him up there giving Cletus advice. Cletus, you know, trying to stay on the lead lap here. It looks like Jesse's being somewhat nice. We'll see if he can do that for another 3 or 4 laps and keep his teammate on the lead lap.
This is tough for Cletus, who's managing traffic himself. He's got Jesse there, and here's the other thing to keep in mind. I mean, if you keep Jesse behind you long enough, even if he gets around, maybe you can stay in that free pass position.
I think he's being nice to him here.
I think he's trying to hang out for a second. We'll see what he decides to do.
Logan Beard in 42 would be the next car in line to go a lap down. So, I mean, at the very least, just keep him back there as long as you can. 3 to go in the stage.
Jesse's lead still just got larger, over 6 seconds right now, so he has the time to just hang out here if he wants to be a good teammate and a friend.
Yeah, you can see his lap time. That last lap, he dropped off about 3 or 4 tenths. Just sitting here trying to be nice to his teammate, and this is something that I don't think Denny Hamlin would ever do for me in the Cup Series, but Jesse's going to do it to his teammate here, so it's a teammate thing to do. You got to respect Jesse for that, just trying to be nice to his teammate, and obviously Cletus learning a ton. I'd be curious to see how many people are watching his YouTube stream as he pushes his teammate through.
Massive.
We just got a note. Last check, 50,000.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow. Oh, look how sideways he is.
There's a drift.
Hold on to it.
He hangs on.
It's going to be a race for the lucky dog.
Yeah,
now.
Love drives by, and now the battle is for the free pass. Is it going to be Beard? Is it going to be Cletus McFarland?
Jesse said, I've given you enough help. I can't help anymore, but I got to go. I got to try and get this trophy today.
Race car drivers are not patient. Add Jesse Love to the list. Final lap, opening stage at Nashville.
Yeah, I never realized how meaningful the lucky dog battle was until I started racing on Sundays. And man, you race your heart out for that lucky dog. So it's fun to see Cletus up here working. Oh, he's going to wrap the bottom here, get inside of him.
And now this for second. Allgaier's rallied up behind Corey Day. Jesse Love has led more laps this year than he led last year when he claimed the title, and trying to get that first victory of the campaign as McFarland goes for a slide. Stage ends, and it's Jesse Love who takes the green and white checkered flag as the Wheeling caution lights come on. Looks like Logan Bearden's going to be the one that gets the free pass. Day, Allgaier, Hill, Larson, the top 5. For Love, it's his 3rd stage win of the campaign.
Well, he was racing for the lucky dog.
Should be all right.
He was trying.
He was trying. You got to give it to him.
Yep.
And the last stage point, Brent Cruz, who has to start outside the top 30, comes in below the chase cut line. Every point is ignored. You're chasing a spot in the chase, and he was able to rally up there and get to 10th. Very, very good for that race team who started deep in the field. Stage 1 down at Nashville Superspeedway. A lot on the line in this final lap. First stint of the race, and there he goes.
Went for it.
Cletus McFarland on the highlight reel. The Wheeling caution lights are on. The same Wheeling emergency lights and sirens you see on the safety vehicles here at the track are protecting first responders and communities all across America. Stage 1 complete. Progressive pit road is open. Here's Kim.
And Adam, you see that 17 of Corey Day pulling off, about to make his stop. Top of your screen, too tight second half of the run. Also tight to start. If he was freer, he felt like he could make lap time. You see the chassis adjustment, too tight on the top lane. Also thought he might have a flat right rear. We'll check that when it comes off, Dylan.
Jesse Love didn't want to be looser on entry because that hurts his arc, but center exit, he did want to be a little freer. They'll make a track bar and air pressure change. Austin Hill said he was lacking right rear grip on entry, and Justin Allgaier said, don't change anything, but I need help on the short run, and I'm too free on the long run. So I guess good luck if you're Andrew Overstreet on fixing that.
Hey, two teams been solid on pit road all year. Allgaier's got the #1 pit stall, so he goes +1. Quapple +3. Status quo for Hill, and the 17 going in the wrong direction. -3 for him in this first pit exchange of the afternoon. That's the Progressive race off pit road. A slide to end stage 1 for Cletus McFarland. Stage 2 coming up next on CW. NASCAR on the CW is brought to you by Sports Illustrated Resorts. Nashville location opening this summer. The Credit One Bank, NASCAR American Express Card. and by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Back at Nashville, getting ready for stage 2. Our stage break coverage brought to you by Arby's. Second pit stop for Taylor Gray. What's going on there, Kim?
Yeah, during that stop, a lug nut got in between the rotor and the wheel and actually hit the inner valve stem on the left side. So it does sound like they are going to give him an additional left front tire to make him so he has an equal set, kind of trying to confirm that with NASCAR, but that was the issue that caused the flat after the first stop.
But I think about this guy that came in on the chase cut line and doesn't get any stage points, and now you lose all that track position. Raja Karuth also had a problem on pit road, so he's going to be coming from deep in the field. Another guy that was right around the cut. Ryan Sieg got some stage points. He's in the top 10. And as of now, would have a chase position. We'll follow that story all night long and throughout the summer. Restart to begin our second stage. Love the control car inside lane, and to his outside, Justin Allgaier.
Good start for Allgaier there.
Look at Sammy Smith making it 3 wide down there into 1, a couple rows back.
Jesse's going to get clear for the lead. Same as stage 1. Obviously, that inside lane still prevails on the restarts.
Allgaier able to slide down in second, side by side for third. Quapple in the 1. 21 is Austin Hill. Right behind him is Larson. Corey Day there as well.
Larson got right to his rear bumper, but just didn't unsettle him. That's what you'd worry about if you're in Austin Hill's position there. Really precarious position on the outside of Quapple. There's those bumps on the exit of 4, but was able to get away with it.
It's not a race in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series if the HendrickCars.com cars are not side by side. And here they're 3 wide. Day and Larson back there as we have a battle for the lead. Allgaier going inside of Love. Great action inside the top 10 at Nashville. 7 is on point.
And Larson got really loose once again. Whoa, off of turn 4 there, gathers it up. Brent Cruz gets the back of him. He chased that thing up multiple times.
And Larson doesn't quit. He's not going away. He stays after it in the 88.
And he's still loose. Oh my gosh, I don't think they're happy with it.
No, they're definitely not. Austin didn't appreciate that.
Cue the 88 radio, please. Here's Sam Mayer.
I think Austin just hurt himself more than he helped himself there, but sometimes you got to just let the anger out. I get it.
Yeah,
hey, look at
release valve.
Yeah.
Look at Retzloff, 99. Has the engine issue, drops to the back. He's another one of those drivers that doesn't have a huge advantage above the chase cut line, but making something happen here early stage 2.
Yeah, man, Parker has been so impressive this season. Obviously, not with one of the key teams that were, oh, here's the 3 wide with Larson. Obviously, he got loose under the 21, and yeah, I don't think that made Austin too happy.
No. And Larson was in a really tough position. Then there, massive 2 wiggles.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I believe Austin Hill just gave him a number 1 out the window.
That's the worst. You've got someone on your door and someone packing air behind you. I don't love that position, and yeah, obviously not happy. Give him a little nudge there, a little love tap.
But to your point, I feel like that hurt Austin more to do what he just did right there. If you could have turned down underneath him, maybe you lose a couple less positions here, but they both lost their momentum, and now they get swamped by Retzloff, and Dean Thompson is another 3 wide.
4.
Oh, here comes Alfredo.
Anthony Alfredo, that brown 96 making something happen. Got to give some love to Dean Thompson, top 15 last week at Charlotte. 00 Sheldon Creed, top 5 here a year ago, and he's starting to make up some ground on the field coming from the back.
Yeah, Brent Cruz was 10th in stage 1, already up to 6th at this point in stage 2. Obviously was one of the fastest cars early there in stage 1 and made up a ton of ground, so he's headed forward as well.
Creed not as good as I thought. 16th in the running order right now for the driver from the Haas factory team.
Well, he's watching some very aggressive racing right ahead of him right there.
Oh, yeah.
Alfredo and Austin Hill throwing haymakers at each other, blocking down the front stretch. Alfredo gets away and gets by Dean Thompson. Austin Hill not able to get by Dean.
Let's look at our O'Reilly pit crew view. The focus this week, that 00 team, led by Jonathan Toney. Cool and calm, but I love the emotion on the radio when Sheldon got that first career victory at Atlanta. I think JT came out of his seat that night.
I like the guys in the back who see they're on TV and they take a moment to give a little peace sign to the camera.
It's exciting when they're
yeah, whenever I like being on TV when I'm on a pit box too.
It's a high mom moment for sure.
Yeah.
Corey Day, 4th. What's going on there, Kim?
Yeah, maybe a little issue. Take a listen to the Starkey in-car communication from the 17.
I got smoke coming inside the car from my right front. I have. Just keep an eye on it. Your right front looks okay from the outside.
That's never
So
good.
again, they're going to keep an eye on it, but Corey reporting that smoke in the cockpit.
Right, and what can that be? You know, especially on a restart, a little lower air pressure. Could be a little bit of rub on the fender. You know, if it doesn't get worse or even gets better, that can tell you it could be just a slight tire rub. But if it does start to get worse, maybe that's more internally in the engine compartment, which is obviously really worrisome.
William Sawalich right there trying to get the 4th position. Justin
in air.
Allgaier leading at Nashville. Halfway home, stage 2, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, racing the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250, Nashville Superspeedway. Glad you're with us on this Saturday, live on CW. Racing has been outstanding in the broadcast booth with Parker Kligerman, our guest Connor Zilic. I'm Adam Alexander. So much to watch. And we remind you of this closed captioning for tonight's race, brought to you by Tableau TV. Pay once, watch forever. Allgaier out front. Another story we've got to mention is Love hangs right there with him in the second spot. Taylor Gray had the tire issue. We did get confirmation NASCAR gave them a new left front tire, so he's all level on tires. And despite the fact that they had the compromised track position, he's driven back up to 17th, so doing some positive things on track as well.
And this is something NASCAR will do in the event that you have an issue like that immediately after you have a pit stop. It happened for SVG at Watkins Glen when you guys.
Thank you.
Had a little contact on pit road, cut a tire down. NASCAR gave him that. When you have limited sets like you have here in the Riley Series, it puts you at such a massive deficit for something that maybe in their position was really out of their control, and therefore NASCAR doesn't want you to be at such a deficit, gives you that tire.
What about the 19, Kim? Cruz is 6 right now.
Yeah, Cruz is cruising. Rocketed through the field, though, in stage 1. Obviously started 29th, made it all the way into the top 10 to earn stage points, and he called his shot. When I talked to him earlier today about how far deep back he was going to have to start, he was not at all worried. He said, look, we made hay at Charlotte. We can do it again this weekend. And he said the directive for the night was we're going to put the fries in the bag. I'm a little bit older than Brent, I'll say, and so he had to explain what that meant to me, and he said, look, it just means let's go, let's do what's expected of us, don't overcomplicate things, and he has absolutely gone to work and is now taken over the 5th position.
Kim, you're speaking Connor's language up here.
Gen Z right here. Please explain to us.
We got a ton of unks up here. The fries in the bag is, you know, just getting the job done. Put the fries in the bag.
Yeah.
And it looks like Brent is
I'm
putting the
telling you
fries
what,
in the bag.
we're going to be using that a lot the rest of the year now.
It's ingrained in the brain at this point.
We're going after the younger demo.
And speaking of the younger demo, I think the only 2 teens in the field, Brent and Sawalich, are running inside the top 5.
Yeah,
so
they look great.
they're
William,
making me and the rest of the teenagers proud.
yeah, William looking for a 3rd consecutive top 5. It's time to go full throttle with Sound Gear. Wherever sound is a problem, Sound Gear has the solution. Scan the QR code to learn more at soundgear.com. Turn it up. I really like what I see from Jesse Love. Allgaier got by, but make a mental note of this for the final stage. Being good on the back end of a run. Love is there and looking inside for the race lead as we hit 15 laps to go, stage 2.
Yeah, man, you get 1 lap car to get you slowed down, bogged up, and you know, Jesse's there ready to pounce. That's what it takes at this track. It's very tough to pass when the leader doesn't have dirty air, traffic, whatever it may be, and Jesse Love gets the lead there.
And he absolutely sent it there into turn 1. He was running that high lane way up top. He told me before the race he was going to be one of the first to get there. We didn't see that, but he didn't need it in the first stage. He vaulted away from the field, but there he used it to get the momentum, looked really good, and then got to the inside and absolutely sent it down to 1 to clear Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, it looks like these 2 cars are class of the field today, but yeah, I mean, there's some guys coming from the back. Taylor Gray has been really fast on this last run, but man, these 2 are going to be racing hard for this lead. They know that track position and getting down pit road first at the end of the stage is going to be crucial.
And Larson appears human right now, settled in 9th position as we hit the latter stages of this 2nd stint of the race.
Yeah, that's a good
Gray
one.
is now,
human.
what's that?
Appears human. I
That's
like
right,
that.
yeah.
I like that.
The last time he did that, I won't remind you all that he won. At
Yeah, I know he did.
He said he was a mid-pack driver most of the race, ran 9th.
Lane's moving up.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Justin, he's just peaking a little bit lower, getting a little bit of air to that left front headlight. Although running that higher lane, he's had to gravitate up there. And this is unusual for me to see from Justin Allgaier because it just feels like he is a bottom feeder at this place as he gets a lane lower there to get maybe a little bit of a run. He's on the rear bumper, Jesse Love.
Well, the track is racy tonight. 12 to go, stage 2. We'll go side by side here with the battle for the lead on. Love in front of Allgaier, Kvapil, Sawalich, Cruz, the top 5. 7 laps to go, stage 2. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing at Nashville. And this duo out front managing lap traffic. Love in front of Allgaier, and the 7 just not going away. This is really, really entertaining.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I mean, this track is so tough to pass at, and Jesse's been doing such a good job through the lap traffic, just finding the clean air when it's there and keeping Justin behind him when he has to. And obviously Justin's been pretty stuck behind him at this point. Jesse moves up when he needs to, blocks Justin, and doesn't, he gets a little loose there.
But say little slide.
Yeah, commentator's curse. But yeah, he's been doing a great job holding on to this lead and keeping Justin behind him as you see them fighting for clean air.
This is really impressive. I know we saw the speed in practice as Justin gets there right
he's gonna drag
side
him
by
back.
side. There's the side draft. Justin's one of the most aggressive in the series at this.
I thought there was going to be contact. You said it, side draft, 7 back on point.
Yeah, he's going to do the little slider line there and take Jesse's air away. Jesse's going to have a run on exit. We'll see if he can get back to his left rear, which he does.
There he goes, turns back down. Use that side draft once again.
Slide job.
Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin's going to get the run back to the bottom. He's going to be trading him.
Let's run it back one more time.
Another little crossover, 4 to go in the stage. Allgaier there.
This racing's awesome.
This is great. You saw Jesse go all the way up trying to get away from him.
Justin doesn't even need to do it this time, but he's still going to do it. And Jesse's running higher than I've seen anybody else run tonight, and didn't quite get the run he had last lap.
The pair out front, 2 seconds in front of 3rd place Carson Quapple. Going around Garrett Smithley in the 0.
Ooh, Jesse
he was
gets
already a lap down.
Yeah, that was an awkward entry. I don't think Jesse saw Smithley there in the 0, and Justin moved down. It looked like almost like a block, but it was really to get to the bottom away from the 0 there, and it gave Jesse just a really awkward entry. Lost the rear bit.
3 remaining, stage 2. Jesse Love has led 63 laps, won the opening stage. Allgaier has led 23 laps and is out front right now.
Jesse's pushing that lane all the way up into the gray as we saw before. See if that materializes a run for him.
Ryan Sieg needs all the stage points he can get. 10th right now. Got Brandon Jones behind him and the racing Kyle Larson.
Sieg looked good on the bottom right there.
Sieg had good track position to start after a top 10 last week, and they have managed their night really well.
Kyle just had a big slide. He looked really out of the racetrack. Can't think he's very happy with the handling of the 88 as Justin went up the track.
Ryan Ellis right there. 7 goes high, 2 low, 1 to go in the stage, side by side for the lead. Allgaier and Love.
Yeah, some aggressive side drafting. Jesse's going to drive it down into the corner. Justin's going to follow him, though. That was close.
That was close. It got away from him. He threw it on in there. Didn't quite have the positive momentum to clear him.
Yeah, that was really smart by Justin, though. He knew Jesse was going to try and drive it up and clear him, and Justin drove it off there with him, and it's going to get him the stage win.
Turns 40 next Saturday. Justin Allgaier showing what a veteran he is, pulling out all the tricks to win stage 2. Jesse Love is second. Quapple Sawalich cruised the top 5. Ryan Sieg gets the final stage point. 6th stage win of the campaign for Justin Allgaier, and he had to earn this one flat, getting after it.
That was very fun. I can't wait for stage 3 if they can put on racing like this.
What a fun setup to the final stage of the night. A thriller to end stage 2. We're live at Nashville Superspeedway on CW. As we head into the next stage, it's the perfect time to slow things down with Arby's new Slow Smoke Barbecue. While it's all about speed on the track, Arby's is doing barbecue the opposite way. Smoke low, slow, and worth the wait. The Arby's barbecue sandwich comes loaded with pulled pork or chopped brisket, paired with your choice of sweet or spicy barbecue sauce. Scan the QR code to order now in the Arby's app.
Pit stop time. We'll see if that 2 crew, they've been good all year, man.
Yeah, they've been fast.
7 #1 pit stall, and both executed quite well at the end of stage 1.
And also, that one team,
Yeah,
they
I
were
was gonna say.
+3 on that last time. We got 3.
You know those guys.
3 good pit crews here.
Progressive pit road is open. Allgaier, Love, and Quapple coming down first, Kim.
Yeah, and for Carson Quapple, looking for a little more out of the race car. He said, I like what I got, just took the rear out of the track instead of making the front turn, so asked for more security in the rear and a little bit more turn in the front. Dylan.
William Sawalich has been quietly in the top 5 all day. Said he was free on exit, but I like this race car. Jesse Love said that he was loose and chattering the right rear. Their plan is to undo both the changes from stage 1. That's an air pressure and track bar adjustment. And for Justin Allgaier, he said, I need help with the front turn and I lost rear grip, but I'm still pretty happy. 4 tires and fuel for the 7.
Race off Progressive pit road. 7 going in the wrong direction. Great opportunity to get out front for Jesse Love and control this race. +1 for Quapple, +1 for Sawalich. Cruz goes +1. It's -4 for Allgaier. Let's see what went wrong there. Looks like maybe an issue on the right front, fumbling a tire. And Allgaier going to have to come from behind again. Restart, final stage coming up from Nashville Superspeedway.
Oh, man. I haven't bought a lottery ticket yet, but now that I'm thinking about it, it might be a decent idea.
If I won the Powerball jackpot, you probably wouldn't see me anymore. I'm changing my name. The close people in my family that are around me, they'll know. Other than that, see you later.
I would buy some sort of private jet and then a humongous, oversized yacht. I'm thinking like it just went in the account. You know how you're walking through like a mall and there's a car just sitting there? It's silly, but I think that'd be a lot of fun. I want that car.
I unfortunately owe my daughter a water park. I wanted her to like root for me in racing, and I didn't know how else to do it other than like, hey, what do you want? I want a water park. I'm like, all right, well, if Daddy wins, he's gonna buy a water park. I've avoided it so far, but I'd happily figure it out.
I'm not gonna tell you that I won the Powerball, but there will be signs.
Presented by Powerball. Head to your local lottery retailer to get in the game today.
Ryan Ellis with the classic overpromise, underdeliver, unless you hit the Powerball. Dream big and head to your local lottery retailer to get in the game for tonight's estimated Powerball jackpot of $172 million. I think 172 would get you the water park.
I think you could get there.
I think you could afford
Jesse
one,
with
probably.
the jet and the ginormous yacht probably works.
Yeah, he'd be out of money, though.
Yeah, pretty
Once
quickly.
pay taxes.
I like Justin Allgaier's the idea of that, there would be signs. His sign would be that we wouldn't see him anymore.
Yeah, that's sad.
That would be
Does
sad.
that mean
I don't
he
want
doesn't
that.
like this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The competition might think that's a really good thing.
that's
This Better Hearing Month, Starkey can help you hear your best. Scan the QR code to take a short free online hearing test at Starkey.com. Now let's listen in to Starkey Radio Communications.
Oh, when we're on the top, I'm not blocking low enough. Like, I'm not protecting my left side enough. So I'm gonna put more emphasis on doing that. If he tries to jump to my right rear, just let me know and I'll unwind the wheel. But I've got to do a better job protecting my left side. So help me do that.
Yeah, you hear him saying that, and that's just him trying to tell his spotter that the communication he needs to hear to be able to defend the guy behind him, and that's really important when you've got racing like we saw at the end of stage 2, when it's almost more important to know what's behind you than what's in front of you.
Look at the points earned today. A couple of guys I want to point out on the bottom. Sieg and Retzloff both lost ground on the pit exchange. They restart outside the top 10. Good night for Love and Allgaier already at the top. Sawalich doing a nice job. And 7 for Brent Cruz. That could be huge as he tries to rally despite missing 4 races and put himself in line to run for a championship in the fall. Ready to restart to begin the final stage. Love, Quapple, front row. And the leaders coming to the Echo Park restart zone. Echo Park Automotive, where car buying is easier, better, and happier. We're green again at Nashville.
Look at Justin Allgaier down there. Immediately past the line, goes below William Sawalich.
3 wide. Why not? Sawalich dancing. Allgaier coming through. 5th to 2nd on the restart. 7 is wound up as Love gets the lead.
Yeah, man, he knows how important that track position is, and getting up there and putting himself in a spot to go race against the 2 early in the run is crucial, and sometimes you got to go through wide bottom and get by your teammate there.
Look at Cruz outside lane, up to 3rd, best running position of the night, Parker.
That was a super aggressive restart by Justin Allgaier, but he had to do that. It put Cruz in a compromising position up top, but he fended that off well. Maybe the loser in that was Quapple there falling to 4th, but he settled in, and I saw the 18 and the 17 get pretty close to each other off of turn 4, maybe a little bit of contact. Aggressive restarts, but you said it, you have to go there. You had to take the opportunity. If you could put it,
Look out! I mean, just hang on to it, and he does. Big time save, 88.
What? That was like your drifted Cletus earlier.
He was full sideways the entire corner.
How did he save that?
Look at 54. Taylor Gray had the tire issue. After starting at the rear at the beginning of the night, passing a lot of cars, he's in the top 10 again.
So this is what I saw off of turn 4 here on that first lap on the restart. See Sawalich comes up the track, gets into Corey Day. Oof, that could have been really bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy if I was Corey with that one.
Then,
oh my gosh, what a save.
Look at that.
He's used to driving sideways.
That's a D1 drift.
That is impressive.
Just lacking a little bit of smoke, but that full opposite lock, turn to the right, you just don't do that in a stock car and get away with it usually.
No, and I'm sure his right rear is probably not too happy with it.
No, not at all, but that's Kyle Larson things right there.
Look at this. Cruz got the 3rd on the restart, looking for 2nd. Never been here. Got the practice earlier today, and doing what he does. And I've said it so many times, Connor, how much Brent reminds me of you last year. Stage 1, stage 2, you go to school, put all that knowledge to work in the final stage of the race.
Yeah, man, and while they're racing hard side by side, Jesse's saying, thank you, guys, and he's driving away out front. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brent get clear here soon. He's obviously a little bit better than the 7 early in the run, but, yeah, Justin's not going to let him go easy. He knows how important it is to stay out front and keep momentum going in the right direction.
I'm glad Adam said it, because he does remind me of you as well, from what we saw last year in some respects. What is in the water where you guys grew up or something, because it's unbelievable how quickly you guys take to these cars and different tracks, and just both of you have such maturity. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I set the rookie bar for him. I told him coming into this year, he's 4 races short, but I think I'd be happy if he got to 8 wins. So starting that tonight would be good.
Just a measly 8.
Man, they're racing side by side, and Justin is not letting him have it.
Crew's barely 18. All guy are going to be 40 in a week. This is what the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is all about. Various levels of experience.
Justin finally gets clear there into second, and sees Jesse has gotten a little bit far out since the last time he focused on him.
I go back, though, to executing on pit road and the importance of controlling a race, and what a big win that was for the 2 team as you watch Larson again.
Oh, Creed's going to get stacked up top here.
Maybe lose a bit of get trapped right here. Gives a nice
Hello.
draft. Spooked Anthony Alfredo a little bit.
Yeah. Sieg in that mix.
But if you're Brent right here, you know, he's tried going to the inside twice now on Justin Allgaier. Wasn't able to complete the pass. You've got some of the tools inside there. You know, we say he reminds us of you. What would you be thinking?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing to do right here is to just try and get a run off the corner and try and get to his right rear. At this track, it's hard for the spotters to see off of 4, and if you could just get close enough to where the spotter calls that Brent's at your right rear, then you know, he's able to get out there, and Justin leaves him a lane. So it's going to take quite a bit for Brent to get by. Obviously, this track's really tough to pass at, but if he keeps knocking on the door here and forces Justin into a mistake, I could see it happening pretty soon.
So he's got to the inside now. I was just
he's got to throw a slider right here if he wants to get by. He's just got to drive it in and clear himself.
How deep does he go?
Not deep enough.
Let's see.
He's going to get clear still, though.
There he goes. Now does Justin pull the crossover once again? Not quite.
Allgaier's fallen back to 3rd now, Dylan.
Yeah, and something that we're monitoring down here, they have got something that's hung up on their primary channel on his radio. So it's just basically static that we're hearing, and that's generally the spotting channel. It was the spotter channel for Eddie DeHaan earlier today, and they're spotting him on channel 2, but I don't know if Justin is able to switch that over and hear them or not. So he may be doing this without any radio communication, which obviously is not ideal when you're racing for positions, but they're trying to get this sorted out right now on the pit box for the 7.
Well, and communication always key, but I just think about executing the final stage. Everybody going to have to make a pit stop here at some point in this final stage, and communication going to be a big part of that equation. Let's hear some radio now from race leader Jesse Love. Maybe a problem developing here.
Check wheels. Get ready. That board might have bad studs. Might need to put a spacer on it. That board. Yep, get a spacer ready for the right rear.
That's not good.
But you know what? Everybody is going to have to make a pit stop, as I just said. The window opens, you know, sometime around lap 120, 125. So if you can ride this thing out, you know, maybe you can make something out of it.
But the risk you run and what they described there, needing a spacer, you can really damage those studs on that outside, and that's going to make this issue way worse than it is. So the only one who can tell is inside that race car behind the wheel. That's Jesse Love. How bad
he hit
that
5 lug nuts. They should be tight, but we did have a right rear wheel loose that last stop.
Yeah, so that sounds like an issue on the actual studs themselves, and the nuts actually backing off of the wheel, because those pit crew guys, all of them have cameras, and we'll see the pit stop here, but they can go back and watch the footage and see how many lugs they got on it. As we see here, it looks like you got at least 4.
At least 4.
4 is usually good.
One was suspect, but
yeah.
they had the camera on the helmet. And, you know, the thing about that is if you have damaged it from having a loose wheel before where the spacing wasn't quite correct, each one is then not going to seat exactly correctly. And that's why they're saying we might need that spacer in the right rear, because they know it's now an issue. As Brett Cruz
hawking them.
Play the Jaws music right here. He can sense some blood in the water at the moment.
Here's the two buddies who were having fun earlier in the race.
Austin Hill started up on the front row after that top 5 last week's. Had a good couple of weeks in a row, but has drifted tonight outside the top 10. Larson right there. This for 12th on track. Taking a break on CW. Jesse Love leading. Not loving his race car. Cruz, Allgaier, Day, Sawalich the top 5. Been a fun Saturday night for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live at Nashville Superspeedway on CW. You're watching the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250. New man out front. I mean, somebody picked him on NASCAR Countdown Live. And here's the deal.
Must be a genius.
Parker will go 0 for 25. But the minute he gets one right, we'll hear about it for months. Brent Cruz, the new leader. And, hey, I got to tell you this. At 18, his growth, the situation they're in right now, wow, he's been impressive. And one of the reasons he's out front, problems for Jesse Love, who had been the strong car tonight, had the problems with the tire on that last cycle of stops. Coming down now under green, Dylan, 67 to go.
Yeah, and they wanted to try to get to this lap, past lap 118, to get him into their fuel window. So it's still not super comfortable, but this definitely puts them in a much better spot than if they pitted 5 or or 6 laps ago. They're going to go around here and put some spacers in the right rear. You see them doing that right there. So this will be a little bit of a slower stop, and especially under green, you don't want that to hurt you too bad, but you got to make sure you get this thing to the finish, obviously, too. So they'll go around here and get the left side changed and just hope that it hangs on for the 2.
Right, if this goes green, as you mentioned, Dylan, this is within the window, but now you're seeing the spacers and how long this stop is having to be. Excruciating for Jesse Love at the front of this field. Such a fast race car, and to have this issue taken away from him. If it cycles through, we'll see how much he loses, but that's a very long stop.
Yeah, he's going to be close to going 2 laps down from this whole ordeal. And, he stays on the lead lap, and, hopefully a caution doesn't come out anytime soon, and we can start the cycle and see where he's able to cycle out with these fresher tires for the next 20 or 30 laps until the cycle really begins.
And this is going to be the tough time for this team, and really filled with anxiety is you probably have about 20 laps. So everyone else really starts to go through the green flag cycle. With this being the last set of tires, they just don't want to do it too early. Even though you can make it on fuel, you almost basically go a little bit further than splitting this stage, which put them around 25 laps from now.
Yeah, as Brent continues to stretch his lead, he's been, one of the faster cars on the racetrack. The fastest car on the racetrack almost every lap. I say that as Justin goes a hair faster that last lap, but yeah, it's so impressive to see what Brent's done today. He hasn't put himself in any bad spots. He started close to the back of the field and has just methodically worked his way up, learned each stage, and now finds himself in the lead with just about 60 laps to go.
Yeah, but my eye would be on that blue car right there, the 17 of Corey Day. Won at the Concrete Monster Mile in Dover, and he has gotten to the rear bumper there. Justin Allgaier looks really good right behind him. If he's able to do that and pull some of the lap times that he's been doing recently in that dirty air, if he's able to clear Justin Allgaier, watch out. Could we be looking at a Concrete Corey?
That's right. There you go. Taylor Gray's passed a lot of cars tonight. We said that earlier. Started in the back when qualifying was rained out, and then he had the issues last week at Charlotte. Drives up toward the front, has the tire issue, had to come back through the field again, gets around Sammy Smith for 8th. And this is big for Taylor because he came in on that chase cut line. And then I think about also Parker Retzlaff, another driver who's faced adversities tonight after losing the engine in practice. Didn't have a great pit stop at the end of stage 2, but he's worked his way back to the top 10. Getting to 9th here, maybe. Sammy Smith not going away in the 8th.
Sammy doesn't want to hand it to him by any means, but this has been such an impressive run for Parker Retzlaff, and we keep talking about this team expanding to 2 cars, a young organization, to be in the place, to be fighting, to be in the chase as far up as they are is awesome. And to be able, it's one thing if it's all going perfectly for them to have great runs, but to be able to overcome adversity like losing an engine in practice, quick turnaround to change that engine, get into this race, start at the back and drive yourself in the top 10, that's really impressive and just shows that they have the speed and the execution.
Yeah, as the 88, the HendrickCars.com, Kyle Larson, still human. It's pretty crazy. You never expect to be talking about him outside the top 10 in one of these races, but yeah, sometimes the car just isn't quite what you need, and it seems like that's been the case. And he's also been put in some pretty unfortunate spots throughout the night as well. So we'll be curious to see if he's able to get himself up towards the top 5, maybe a late race restart, and find his way to get back to victory lane like he always does. But certainly not the normal 88 performance with Kyle Larson that we usually see.
59 to go. Let's get a pit road report from Dylan.
And when I spoke to Danny Eflin, the crew chief on Parker Retzlaff earlier today, he said, frankly, the engine woes are sort of the least of our concerns. Our balance was really, really not good. So this engine woe, it's going to allow us to go to the back and maybe try to get some things a little bit better on this car for the race. And it's interesting that he's right there with Larson, because he followed Larson in practice and said, even though that Larson wasn't very good, I still felt like it was encouraging that we were keeping up with them. So this is kind of a good day for the 99, and it's maybe a bad day for the 88, but they're both racing for the top 10, and kind of 2 sides of the same coin for both of those guys in the 88 and 99.
And we talk about their execution of the day, and you mentioned Danny Eflin, the crew chief. Mirror image of what we saw with him a year ago when he was running the show for Harrison Burton at AM Racing. Brent Cruz leading at Nashville as we head toward the last portion of the race. Just over 50 laps to go for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Nashville Superspeedway. Brent Cruz leading Justin Allgaier, Corey Day, William Sawalich, and Sam Mayer, the top 5. And now we take a look at a replay brought to you by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. 2 young drivers battling for the lead, Cruz and Love.
I like how he goes to the top. He had the choice to go either direction, and he wanted the top there into 1, and it worked out. Obviously, he was a bit faster, but
that's what you thought he should have done against Justin Allgaier a couple places before that, so it worked to get to the lead. Jesse was slightly wounded, as we saw, having to put spacers on the rear of that race car. But nonetheless, the result is Brent Cruz in the lead and driving away right now, 3.5 seconds over Justin Allgaier.
Updating Jesse Love, 29th, 1 lap down, and he's the 2nd car in the 1 lap down category, so wouldn't be in a position for a free pass here should the caution come out. Racing here with the 28 of Kyle Sieg. He's had a couple of top 20s recently, doing a nice job driving for RSS.
And all they can hope for there for Jesse Love is to let this completely run out through the whole cycle. Right now, they're just on pins and needles hoping there isn't a caution.
Raj has gotten himself up into the top 20, running 19th. He had a couple issues earlier in the race, brake problems, talked about a bad pit stop, so good to see him up in the top 20. You know, I talked to him a lot about just his mindset, obviously part-time with JRM, part-time with Jordan Anderson Racing, trying to race into the chase, and you know, when he gets in that JRM car, he has to make the most of those opportunities, and then when he's in the 32, it's all about, you know, just trying to finish as good as possible and get the points that he can.
And we ride in this GovX onboard here, looking back at Raja, you can see sort of the bumps in this place and at concrete tracks, and the rubber lays in there. But you know what he's been doing to be on that chase cut line in 2 different cars when he has to jump in this 32, and all the differences that happen there in terms of the dash and the team he's working with, all those things add up. As Jesse Love goes by on the outside there, it's been really impressive for him to be right there, but you know when he's in that 88, that's when he has to make up a lot of points.
We said this could cycle through for Jesse Love, right? Because everybody else is going to have to pit here under green. What's everybody thinking? Here's 7 radio, Justin Allgaier running 2nd right now.
Just make sure he remembers about the access road for going back out. Haven't had to do a green flag stop here in quite a while, so it's probably something to catch him off guard. Good point.
Yeah, all the mental processes you go through in a cycle of green flag pit stops. And you know, Connor, we were watching you guys during cup practice earlier. You got the extended practice so you could work on a lot of things, and saw a number of drivers experienced at the highest level of NASCAR making that mock run. Green flag pit stop, had a hard time getting in, so something to be thinking about here is Sammy Smith makes a stop. Dylan?
And this is a little bit more on schedule, so to speak, and Sammy Smith will start the cycle here potentially for the guys in the top 10. He's been all over the balance today. It's been tight, he's been loose, just trying to find a happy middle ground here for the 8. They'll change 4 tires and fuel for their final stop of the day.
And Carson Kvapil about to make his stop. There you see him in the box as the crew goes to work. Just too loose. Then he said tight at the 5/8 mark. Needs rear lateral grip. You saw that chassis adjustment for fresh Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel for Carson Kvapil, Dylan.
Parker Retzloff, who has, as we said, been in and around the top 10 for most of the day. Also pretty happy with his balance. The only complaint he's had is that he lost his water bottle. It's been bouncing around inside the cockpit. He's not sure where it went, but they'll make a chassis adjustment there. You see the wrench in the back window. 4 tires and fuel, Kim.
And Taylor Gray making his stop. Fired off a little snug, but then it has continued to free up this run. In fact, just said, trying to keep the right rear underneath me. And so they'll take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, air pressure adjustment for the 54. You see the chassis adjustment, maybe just a tick slow on that right side.
You see Brent Cruz going around the 48 of Patrick Staropoli, who was scored somewhere right around 20th when the cycle began, maybe just north of the 20th position. Justin Allgaier coming down the pit lane, scheduled green flag stop here, Dylan.
And he is a long way down here, all the way at the end of pit road, pit stall number 1. Another guy that's been pretty happy with his balance. They haven't made very many big changes or very many changes at all night on the 7 car, just air pressure on both these stops. 4 tires and fuel, they just need a clean stop here, Kim.
And you see leader Brent Cruz making this green flag stop, said really good, a little bit on the tighter side, but he said please don't touch it, no adjustments for the 19. As you see the 17 of Corey Day making his green flag stop, he said really good to start the run, better than I've been all day. He did complain of a long pedal earlier in this stage, haven't heard anything about that brake pedal since.
Dave was 4.9 seconds back when the cycle began. Allgaier was 3.9 behind race leader Brent Cruz. If you're Cruz here and you have that advantage, just make sure you execute and you don't get a speeding penalty. William Sawalich also getting a green flag pit stop here. It's all scheduled. And now we watch the blend. Allgaier coming across the start-finish line. Cruz running that access lane through turns 1 and 2. And there's Allgaier, no problem. Brent Cruz going to stay in front of the 7 as he comes up on the racetrack and down the back straightaway. All of this is cycled to Austin Hill as the race leader. He will have to pit. The same for Ryan Sieg, Caruth, Kyle Sieg, and Leland Honeyman, all staying on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, that's a very fortunate blend onto the racetrack for the 19 of Brent Cruz to get in front of that jumble of lap cars. You know, that's going to slow Allgaier down when he gets up there and has to get around those guys. So, yeah, good timing on that pit stop by the 19 team.
And that's a great point. You're not just racing the guy you're racing against through the cycle like Justin Allgaier. It's also where you blend into the traffic. Can you get clean air? He was using all the racetrack on the X of the access road there, and all the way out to the grass, pushing as hard as he could, and just blended up in front of them, and now has that clean track.
And unofficially, William Sawalich was able to get in front of Corey Day in the cycle. They were 3rd and 4th when the cycle began. They've exchanged positions now, and we'll see how everything cycles out when everyone makes their green flag pit stop. But it looks like Sawalich and the 18 team able to take advantage there with that green flag stop. Other drivers coming in to get their service. It cycled Brent Cruz up to 5th in the running order, so the top 4 still need to pit. Sieg, both Sieg brothers, Hill and Starpoli, and here's Hill in now. Down to Dillon.
And they had run back up inside the top 10 after that scuffle with Larson early in the race, set them way back to about 15th or so. So it's been a little bit of a slow chipping away at it, but they had made some of that track position back up. We'll see where they blend back in here as the cycle concludes. 4 tires and fuel, and you saw the chassis adjustment there for the 21.
Hill pits, both Siegs have been on the pit lane. Patrick Staropoli will be scored as the race leader. He will have to come for service, and once he does, it will cycle back to 18-year-old Brent Cruz, who's leading or will be leading inside of 40 laps to go.
Justin's cut that deficit a little bit here, even through some of this traffic, from compared to where they were when we started the green flag cycle.
Yeah, and that's something to mention, right? You know, you get that last chance to make an adjustment to make your car better for the end of the race, and you know, you see that making a difference, and obviously Justin got a good adjustment, and he's able, that rhymed. Justin got a good adjustment.
Well done. You're a poet, you didn't even know.
I'm a poet. And you know, obviously is starting to move back in the right direction.
Staropoli pits, it's cycled through. Brent Cruz leading by 1.8 seconds over Justin Allgaier. Lost a couple of seconds in the exchange. The rest of the top 5, Sawalich, Day, and Mayer. We're live in Nashville on CW. Coming up on 30 laps to go for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series at Nashville Superspeedway. Brent Cruz leading Justin Allgaier. We talked about how the 7 made some gains through the green flag cycle. Now he's doing it on track, racing down the 19. The advantage inside a second. It's now half a second. Cruz back to Allgaier.
And I'm not entirely sure it was even much of the green flag cycle as much as it was the couple laps afterwards. Justin started to really run down Brent Cruz. Brent got stuck behind some of this traffic here, and Justin has been flying, catching major deficits in terms of lap time compared to Brent Cruz lap after lap. Once he clears Blaine Perkins here, he's got a clean shot, Connor.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, Justin's been doing a really good job getting through this lap traffic and making up lap time. You know, before we went to the break, it was right around 2 seconds, and he's shaved that to down below a second. So I think we got a race here, boys.
It's looking that way.
You know, with the traffic, at one point it did get down to a half second. Now it's back up, as you guys referenced, close to a second. 9/10 is what we're showing. So things may be stabilizing a little bit out front for Brent Cruz. We talk so much about the opportunity to learn, and closing the deal on that first one can be such a challenge. But I think about the scenario for Cruz. You're leading one of the best at a track where he's been so good. And I mean, trying to get that first victory, this is an enormous challenge.
Yeah, I think with 28 laps to go, the biggest culprit for Brent Cruz is going to be just the lap traffic and just getting through them as quick as possible. Obviously, you know, it's one of his first times leading with this many laps to go, and you know, Justin Allgaier, the veteran of the series, a lot of guys want to give him breaks because they've raced around him before and know that he respects everybody, and that can play a role late in these races.
It's time to go full throttle with Sound Gear. Wherever sound is a problem, Sound Gear has the solution. Scan the QR code to learn more at soundgear.com. Turn it up. Down to 26 laps to go at Nashville. 7/10 of a second, the advantage out front for Brent Cruz.
Yeah, you look in front of Brent, and there's not a lot of cars, you know, that far in front of him. He's got 2 cars, you know, within probably 10 seconds in front of him. So he's got pretty clean racetrack in front of him. So it'll be interesting to see if Justin's able to close the gap on pure pace with 25 laps to go.
And the key here, though, is that we see Brent Cruz run the bottom. Justin's running the bottom as well. We'll see if Justin tries something different down here in 3 and 4. No, he's still wrapping that bottom. So it's not like he has to see that Justin's doing a completely different line he has to adjust to right now. He can focus on running the bottom. But we're going to take a look at our buddy Cletus McFarlane here coming to pit road. Oh,
Little wheel hop.
Yep. That's the sound when you lock the rears.
We said it was challenging coming onto pit road here under green.
Got to get that downshift done a little straighter, a little sooner.
Yeah, that's probably one of the things that they didn't even bother to tell him about, is where to lift when you're doing a green flag stop. And you know, you don't have to do a lot of those in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So it's probably something that they maybe brushed over, but it can make a difference on race day.
The lesson is learned now.
Yes, he will. From now on, he will practice it in practice, and he will be prepared when it comes race time.
Cletus 35th in the running order as Cruz comes up on some more lap traffic. Allgaier inside a half a second now, the advantage.
If you're Brent right now, you're going to be hearing that the 7 is closing in. Don't want to look in that mirror, though. You got to focus on what you're doing and navigating through this traffic. You've been in this position, trying to win your first O'Reilly Auto Parts race. What do you think he's focused on right there?
Yeah, I mean, and it's nerve-wracking. I can tell you, when I was leading my first race in Watkins Glen in 2024, it was a stressful race. There was a lot of cautions, and fortunately, Brent hasn't had to deal with too many restarts this race. But you know, it's really cool to see Brent, 18 years old. He's still not younger than me. I was 18 in 1 month when I won my first race. So he'd be the 3rd youngest behind me and Joey Logano if he were to be, or if he was able to get the win tonight.
Are they competitive, you think?
Yeah, this a little.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all.
What's going on, Kim?
Yeah, let's get a Toyota driver update for your leader, Brent Cruz. Right now, he is completely silent. Just the spotter, Tab Boy, giving him lap times for both Brent and Justin Allgaier in second, as well as car lengths behind, telling Brent the only place he's beating us is rolling it deeper in both ends and reminding him, maintain your exit.
You know, I'm watching this, and I'm just thinking, this is career start 12 for Brent Cruz. In front of him, the guy that's going to be the all-time leader in Jeremy Clements, and behind him, Justin Allgaier, who's over 500. I mean, this is something here watching him race around these two.
Yeah, you see Justin move up there to the top, get some clean air. That's one thing I haven't seen Brent doing quite as much as I probably would like to see is when he gets here in dirty air, he's just following the 51 down to the bottom. And
Allgaier is there.
There's the effect of that dirty air. He lost the nose.
Justin looking low for the race lead. 19 laps to go. Side by side for the top spot. 7 trying to come from behind. Cruz not going away. 7 shoots through. Justin Allgaier leads again at Nashville.
Here's the crossover. He turned back down. Really smart move right there. Let Justin go. Gets back to the inside. He'll have the inside into 3.
See if he does the same thing into 3. Justin's going to drive it in with him, not make it easy. It's going to be close here off of 4, but Brent's going to be able to wrap the bottom, get a good exit, and we're going to be side by side going back down the front straightaway.
Allgaier wound up outside lane. Cruz not making it easy inside. Was a side draft they almost touched. Lap cars in front of him.
He
that was tight.
So deep right there, trying to stay right with Justin. He fights back on the exit, side by side once again. What does he learn to do different down in 3 here?
Obviously, Justin's got a lot in his control on the outside here. If he wanted to, he could go down and put it on his door and get Brent loose, but he's giving Brent a lot of room here, and he's going to clear. Oh, not quite. Brent's going to hang on and get the side draft down the front straightaway.
The 0-2 is Ryan Ellis. That's Clements out in front of him, was pulled away a little bit. Final car on the lead lap as these two race for the top position. Outside lane, is he all clear this time? Yes, he is. Allgaier back in control.
See if Justin Allgaier goes back to the bottom here. He is. Brent's going to try and get... Oh,
little bumper?
He gave him a bumper. Don't see that very much here.
I mean, 17 to go. Let it all hang out. Going for that first career victory.
Justin's been pretty nice. We'll see if he maybe drives him a little tighter this time into 1.
Might have to squeeze him after that one a little bit. So he does go lower, but he's got him cleared right now.
Brent's trying to pack air, get him loose off of 2 there, and he's going to get to his left rear and be inside into 3.
This is amazing, tight racing, how tightly they're side drafting. Each corner staying side by side. Will Justin have the momentum, the exit here of 4? He does.
Keep in mind, this has been Allgaier's playground. I mean, he's got an incredible stat sheet here. Brent Cruz had never seen the place before practice today, but here we are, 15 to go, and it's these two opposite ends of the spectrum going at it for a race win.
But this is where he has to adjust now. Brent's got to use the tools inside the race car, whether it's bias or moving the brakes around in that sense. Adjust his line, as you mentioned, Connor. We haven't seen him do that a lot. Try and find something. This is where you have to adjust the situation at hand. The 7's better right now. What can you do to get the speed back that you had earlier?
Yeah, no doubt. I was in the same position as Brent last year, and I was, making the, I don't want to say mistake, but you're not going to beat him doing the same thing. You've got to try something different, move up, and see if there's speed somewhere else on the racetrack. And, it's going to be very tough for Brent to get back to him here unless we get some lap traffic, which is pretty close up ahead here.
And he's trying to beat a guy who is so good here.
He is.
So good on concrete tracks. And when we asked Justin earlier today in practice what makes him so good at these tracks, he said, I don't really know, but if I knew, I would bottle it up and use it everywhere else. But for whatever reason, he just has a feel for these concrete tracks. You look at him wrap the bottom, it's so impressive how stable that car is and how much speed he's able to have over the long run.
His first career win came on concrete at Bristol. Got 6 of his 31 victories have come racing on concrete. Allgaier great on this type of racetrack.
Yeah, it's so cool to see Justin. Obviously, you said he turns 40 next Saturday. Still racing against the 18-year-old, the old guy still getting it done. And, there's obviously been talks about his retirement and when he wants to retire. And he was ready to retire at the end of this year. And I think his wife told him, why are you retiring? You're still winning.
I think he's better than ever. I think similar to Denny Hamlin.
Exactly.
Later in a career, they're the best they've ever been in a lot of respects. It's all the experience. They know how this works, mixed with the speed and the skill. It's obvious, he's at the top of his game right now. Dylan?
Hey, and he's going to run a triathlon or compete in a triathlon tomorrow. So this guy really is at the top of his game at 40 years old. And I just think it's interesting, too, as we watch him in these closing laps. He's doing that exact same line that he's done so well here for so many years. Wrapping the bottom. Same thing that Andrew Overstreet said was going to be their moneymaker all day long. He kind of went away from it in the heat of the day, but as it got dark and as it came time to get down to business, he's right back around the yellow line, just like these two drew it up. So a plan executed to perfection today for the 17.
Yeah, it's so cool to see Justin and Andrew Overstreet, his crew chief. Andrew was actually my crew chief the first year I raced in the O'Reilly Series in 2024. We got my first win and his first win as the crew chief together. So it's been awesome to see the success they've had this year with Junior Motorsports and everyone over there. It's so cool to see, a team that you love so much and people that have done so much for you continuing to succeed after you've moved on.
Dylan references the triathlon. What he's going to do for his 40th birthday is go out and run 40 miles. And I saw him and said, you should join us. I'm like, I might be able to get 4 or 5, but I'm not doing 40.
He asked me to come join the triathlon tomorrow. I was like, I'm sorry, I believe I have a flight or something at that time. I can't make it.
I love his attitude, his mentality. We check in on the O'Reilly's pit crew view, looking at Jonathan Toney, crew chief for the 00, Sheldon Creed. Tough night outside the top 10, 15th right now, and racing there with Jesse Love, who, with all the things that happened to him when he was out front, has stayed on the lead lap.
Right, and I know this night will be a massive disappointment there for Jesse Love, who's running the high side, but the big thing for him to know is 19 points earned in the stages. That lessens the blow just a little bit. I know this team and the 2-car want to desperately win a race right now. They've been so close. Look how high up he is.
A little too high there.
Yeah, it's getting in the marbles probably.
Yeah, he found the edge of it.
A little bit. But they want to win badly. But the consolation prize of the night is how many points they've earned here.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about the chase format being back is there's value to having points, and getting those stage points are important. So, although you might not get the finish you want, you're at least going to walk away with something to look forward to the next weekend.
Couple of drivers, top 5 in points, right of your screen. Corey Day, 3rd in the standings, 5th for Brandon Jones. Jones the best of the Toyotas when you talk about the chase picture. And trying to get 4th away here from the young driver from California. Going to be 6 to go this time for Justin Allgaier, who's looking for win number 4 in 2026. Championship leader, almost a 200-point advantage over the competition. Scores stage points like it's nobody's business, and hitting them right between the eyes here tonight, saving his best for last with his strong run toward the checkers. He'll see 5 laps to go this time around.
Yeah, and we talked about Justin, almost turning 40 and just the amount of experience that he has. And he's had a lot of successful seasons in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, but he has never reached 4 wins in this series this early in the season. So obviously a really good season for him so far. And had to make a crew chief change at the end of last year with Jim Pullman going to RCR and, crew chiefing in the Cup Series. So, it's impressive to see change and still keeping up the same performance and even better.
Such a good family man. We were talking about his birthday, but his daughter Willow had a birthday last weekend. She said, Dad, all I want is you to win at Charlotte and bring me the trophy. Well, that didn't work out. Maybe he can deliver a week late for her. He's now 4 laps away.
Well, it'll be another guitar, so she
there you go.
Use it a little bit.
Right.
We'll have a 3rd one of those.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight over who gets the 3rd one because they both have one already. But I know they fought over who got the first one and who got the second one. But I guess we'll have to see what color it is tonight.
So they're spending a lot of time at the softball field. Now they'll also be spending a lot of time getting guitar lessons maybe, huh?
Let's not jinx him.
Yeah, that's right. I know. 3 laps to go. Wants a couple of more in the bag so he can get to that white flag and not have to deal with a late restart here. What a clean race. Only 2 cautions, and they came out for the stage ends. And Allgaier hopes it stays that way with a 2.5 advantage and 2.5 laps to go.
You know, you talk about that experience in practice today when everyone was moving to the top side. We got some radio from Justin. He said they can go do that. It won't pay off for them. He's been to the bottom of the racetrack, wrapping it, and once again has all the speed, just like last year. I feel like I have a little bit of deja vu to watching this exact scenario last year.
Yeah, and it's very often you see guys start taking it easy towards the end of runs when you're leading, and you know maybe there's gonna be a restart, and you know you got to save your tires for a late race restart in case it happens. But man, Justin has been the fastest car on the racetrack almost every lap, just driving away from the 19, and also Sawalich, Mayer, and Jones. You know, Sam and Brandon Jones came from the tail and are up inside the top 5 and gonna get themselves a decent day after what was a tough starting spot.
Allgaier back to the white flag. 1 to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank for what's ahead. Tremendous night for driver 7. Gets a stage victory. Gonna lead 50 laps. And when it's all said and done, he's gonna put an exclamation point on his big advantage out front with an off weekend coming.
Such an impressive night for Justin and the 7 team.
Justin Allgaier playing a happy tune again. He gets his 3rd victory in Music City.
Maybe another guitar. So proud of everybody, proud of this group. You don't kick us when we're down. This championship goes to us. I mean, that, give your mom and dad a hug. That's pretty cool, getting them here. I know you got your wife and kids, now your mom and dad pick your lane.
Great night for Brent Cruz.
Yeah.
Finishes 2nd. Offers a little congratulations to the veteran driving by. Sawalich, another top 5, goes 3 in a row. Outstanding effort for the 2 young drivers from Joe Gibbs Racing. Mayer to 4th, Brandon Jones to 5th. Really good night for the Toyotas from Joe Gibbs Racing, putting 3 in the top 5.
You know the 7 team, you hear that, how much fun they're having. Andrew Overstreet has his mom and dad here. That's how much Justin's paying attention. It's like, hey, you've had your wife and kids in victory lane, but now you can get your mom and dad in victory lane. That sounds awesome.
That's a special one.
Justin Allgaier celebrating a win in the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250.
Burn it down.
I go back to when he wins stage 2. They have the pit stop that doesn't go their way. A little bit of compromise on the restart. He charges from 5th to 2nd, reestablishes himself. I know he didn't just immediately take over from there, but he stayed in the game and doing what he does.
Whoa! Hey! Through the roof hatch.
I thought it was safer, but oh, the bow. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Career win number 32 for Justin Allgaier. Here's Kim Kuhn.
And Justin Allgaier remains the king of concrete, brings home his 3rd win here at Nashville Superspeedway as his crew comes in for a celebration. After taking home the checkers, he's gonna get a big hug from all the guys. They are pumped up down here. 4th win of the season for this team, but Justin, you came to life when it mattered most there at the end. As you think about your race, was there any doubt about the win, especially when you saw young Brent Cruz out your front windshield and knew you had to pass him?
First of all, it's been a rough couple of weeks, and thoughts and prayers to Samantha, Kyle, and Braxton and Lennox. It's been an emotional couple of weeks, and I wish my wife and kids and my mom and dad were here to celebrate. But this team right here, they're incredible. Rick Brandt standing here to win in Nashville. You fans, this place is electric. I love coming to Nashville, and I saw Brent struggling out that green flag pit stop, and I knew we had a car that was capable of getting there, and we struggled on that one run. And Andrew made some great calls, and we got ourselves back in the game and was able to track him down and get the win. So, trademark nitrogen, I felt like I told them before the race that we were going to go to victory lane. So Mike Berry better be leading the group to victory lane. And, yeah, 2 in a row with them, and Rick Brand. I mean, obviously, I can't say enough about this guy. This is just the effort. I mean, it's what a race. And my 40th birthday is next week.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. I got a triathlon to run in the morning in downtown Nashville, so I don't know how that's going to work. So if any of y'all want to go run a triathlon for me, you're more than welcome. I don't know. Just really proud of this group, and thank God, man. Thank God we got the opportunity to do this.
So many teams talked about the importance of this race before the break next week. For you guys to end on an exclamation point of a win, how important was that?
Wins are wins, and they're understated. You know what it means to this team, the organization, everybody at Chevrolet, the Hendrick Engine Shop, all of our partners. You know, Harvey's, Registics, Carolina Carports, Chevrolet, Hellman's, Toughco, just everybody that's a part of this. Jarrett, they're here tonight. Hopefully Mike Jarrett's coming to victory lane. Just so proud of this team, and wins are understated, like I said, and it's a good night.
Does Willow get the guitar?
Willow got the last one, so maybe this one's mine. It is red, so this one's mine. I'm going to learn how to play guitar on this one, trust me.
All right, you heard it. Justin Allgaier, our winner again at Nashville, taking home that famed guitar.
And he continues to make history. Career win 32. Breaks a tie with Jack Ingram for 6th on the all-time wins list. He's now got the hat trick at Nashville, winning 3 of the last 5. The guy is so good here, and he delivered late. Celebrate good times. Justin Allgaier getting another guitar. He'll play it loud into the night after victory at Nashville.